First of all, gold weekly time frame. You have wick trend line. Before that, two big static support level, 2720, then near 2800. So since beginning of the year, every week gold is going up. So one day either it stop going up or make correction. Because last week you saw Trump tariff trade war market reaction. That was real. Last Monday, SP 500 market crash. Instantly, they delayed the tariff war for a month. But because of that war, inflation expectation, which you saw last Friday, they are exploding in big way. That is 100 basis point jump in 1 year inflation expectation. So you can imagine, before Fed speech this week, before new CPI number, inflation expectation jumped 1% last week. If they take trade war to next level, like 2019, retaliation from each country, then rising inflation expectations are very bad for Fed. Fed can use this rising inflation expectation as excuse to increase the timing of the rate pause or no early rate cut. Because last week NFP you again saw old number was revised, very strong NFP number, and your rate decreased towards 4%. Plus you have rising inflation expectation. So CPI come down or high, inflation expectation are more important than CPI number. Because in that condition, if Trump start trade war, then those exploding inflation expectation, they will create more problem for Fed. So by the time gold make correction, this trend line retest, your 2720 level will be at same place, trend line and static level. So this area starting below 2800, this is your big support zone. Before this level, I don't think next buying wave will come easily. So COT finally increased their gold buying last week. So they bought 2881 level. So this week Fed speech will be extremely important, and I think that strong revision in NFP number, decreasing UR rate and rising inflation expectation, response to trade war, this thing can force Fed to be hawkish. Still it is too early to say cut or pause in March FOMC meeting, but next few weeks hawkish pair possibility increasing and narrative or rate pause can continue. If we see daily chart, then same trend line also visible weekly and daily time frame both. But when this trend line will retest again in future, price will be testing this static horizontal support zone from 2800 to 2720 level. This is a big static horizontal support zone, and this is your ABC wave. Right now we are in impulsive wave C, which hit 61% projection last week near 2881, and we have 3 daily candlesticks showing rejection in that area. So you have dynamic support level and you have static support level. Until price retest this area, wire does not have nice risk reward ratio on Friday closing price, and plus high chance Fed can be hawkish. So last week inflation expectation, I think more important than CPI number this week. CPI will show you past information about inflation. Inflation expectation 100 basis point jump last week. That is showing Trump trade war panic, possible retaliation. So you have clear resistance 2881 and clear support zone from 2800 to 2720. On intraday H4 chart, you have one more trend line, a strong trend line. Before price hit weekly or daily time frame support zone, H4 time frame trend line will be higher than those support zone. So that H4 trend line will be your first dynamic support level. And I just explained on daily time frame why price is showing rejection near 2881 level, because it is daily time frame free projection. So this is your resistance zone and this trend line is your support zone on H4 time frame. So static resistance at dynamic support level. So CPI, PPI, all of those indicators will come again, but inflation expectation, they will come again on Friday this week. They are more important because this week, if they do more trade war, Trump do something, or any country retaliate, then inflation expectation already up 1% last week, they will go up more. So for beginner trader H4 time frame, you have big resistance from daily weekly time frame and big dynamic support as a trend line on H4. Below that, daily weekly time frame support zone. But as long as price trading above this H4 time frame trend line, technically it is still bullish. So if Trump increase more tariff this week and Fed blindly ignore tariff war panic, because Trump did not delay trade war for a month until they saw red candlestick real market crash in SP 500. For gold trend to work to stay above 2800, Fed need to blindly ignore that tariff drama, trade war panic, and 1% increase in inflation expectation. So back to daily time frame, that Friday closing price, not good risk reward ratio for buyers new entry. So everyone must be waiting for correction, and from 2800 to 2720, this is only big support zone. And by the time price do sideways correction, this trend line will go up more and it will be near this support zone. So fundamental reason behind this trend, gold went up from 1620 to 2881 because of Biden bad policy. The primary reason, debt spending. Elon Musk Dodge department, they are doing something, they are decreasing government spending, but China is still buying gold. They begin again after US election and they are buying more gold every month. And since new Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he gave his first interview last week as Treasury Secretary. And if you compare with Yellen, he is very hawkish. He have said clear they will choose policy which are not inflationary. Since then, gold is sideways below 2881 level. So new government spending is not coming like Biden, and Dodge department decreasing old. So compared to last time, this week will be 1 year for this gold market, 1 year constantly up. But compared to last year, everything is changing. Looks like a red flag for gold price about 2800. So in this speech, if Fed blindly ignore trade war panic, rising inflation expectation, gold will stay about 2800, small correction, then upside breakout. If he took U-turn like he did rate pause after election, then profit taking, counter trend correction, price easily retest this support zone.